Hi everyone, Sandra Vale here at Homesteading Ways, and today I'm going to be reviewing the Berkey Royal Water Filtration System. Okay, to start with, I'm just going to give you a little bit of background. Paul and I have been using bottled water for probably at least 5 years now. It started 5 years ago when we moved to a house directly across the street from a quarry. But that particular area was known for bad water anyhow, and we had a well and the water smelt and it just wasn't good. So we started getting water delivered at that time. Then we moved to our last place, and that place had terrible water as well. It wasn't a well, it was city water, but it consistently tested third worst, especially for lead, in all of Wisconsin. So when you turn the faucet on, it smelled like pool water. There was so much chlorine in there. So again, we kept up with our water delivery system. Paul had a falling out or something with those people, and he quit our service, and then we just started buying it first in gallon jugs and whatever, and that became tedious. So then we got our own 4-gallon jugs, and those were recyclable, and it was nice and everything, but it was still kind of a pain because the closest store where you could buy them was about a half-hour away. And so it got me to thinking about what we planned on doing up at the cabin. And we use rainwater up there, but then in the winter we also have access to our neighbor's well. The problem with the well is that it has a lot of sand in it still, so we need to get the sand out. It's getting better as time goes by, but still, and I'm not quite sure what's in that well either. It's not like we had it tested. So I kept thinking about what we were going to do for water, and Paul kept saying, well, we'll just buy it and this and that, and I'm thinking that's ridiculous. I don't want to have to do that, especially if I'm living off grid. I want to be more self-sufficient. I don't want to go and buy drinking water. And so then I started looking at different filter systems, and I had looked at them years ago when I was still living in the city and was prepping big time. And a lot of them were expensive, and we still had a bunch of kids at home, and so Paul didn't see it as a priority, and so we just never bought one. But now, moving up to the cabin, I really started to think seriously about it. So I started looking at all my different options, and the one I chose was the Berkey. And I bought the Royal, which is the next size up from the big Berkey, simply because of size and money. It wasn't that much more to go from the big to the Royal, and I would have rather have that extra gallon of water. It's only going to be me and Paul, but for now it's me, Paul, and my brother, and we're going through about 3 gallons a day. So I think I picked the right size. I mean, if you can go up, in size, I suggest you do, because the more you put in there, the less often, and depending on how many people are in your family as well. But if it's just even 2 of you, wouldn't you rather not have to fill it every day if you didn't have to, or fill it multiple times a day? So the bigger you can afford, probably the better off you are. But you don't want anything too cumbersome either, you know what I'm saying? So just go out there and look around, see what's out there, and let's get going and looking at the Berkey. Okay, so here we are. This is the Berkey, and as you can see, here's a gallon jug for water. This is the size of it. Now, when we first moved in here, I didn't realize it, but there's a water softener here and an iron removal system. The iron removal system I don't have a problem with, but I don't like softened water. I don't like drinking it. And it wasn't until we were here a little over a week that I realized not only will this not remove the salt from the water softener, but it will possibly damage your filters, and it will definitely shorten the life of your filters. So don't filter softened water if you can help it. Now we take these gallon jugs outside, and we to a spigot that bypasses the water softener system, and we filter it. We just pour it in top rather than going to the sink and using that water. Okay, one thing you may notice different on this Berkey as opposed to others is the spigot there. It's all metal, that's stainless steel. I bought that on purpose. I hate when companies cheap out and put plastic stuff in there. And it's companies, not just Berkey, but other big companies, they make a very high quality product and then take one little thing and cheap out on it. And that's how I feel about that plastic spigot. I didn't use it to say there would be a problem with it or see any. I just feel overall the plastic probably over time would leak. And that's, you know, I like durable things and I'm willing to spend the money on them so that they'll last. So I was going to order this straight from Berkey, but I didn't. I ordered the whole thing from Amazon, and I'll put the link down in the description box, because this came with the metal spigot, the stainless steel spigot. It of course also came with the original plastic one, which I've kept, but on Amazon you could order this all together as opposed to me going and ordering the separate spigot from Berkey or elsewhere. Okay, now we're up on top. I'm just taking this out, and there are the two black filters. Over there, the other two are plugged. Now in there you would normally put fluoride filters. If, you know, I think those are really if you're on city water. I don't think you have to worry about fluoride if you're on well water. But in the city you probably would want to get those fluoride filters in there. Also, if you wanted to put two more black ones in there, you could. That would make it filter faster, but I don't see the point in it. As far as the filters go, they say each one is good for 3,000 gallons. So with the two of them, that's 6,000 gallons. I did the math of us doing about 3 gallons a day. So these filters should last us about 4.5 years. That is an excellent value. I can't even begin to tell you how much money I wasted. Well, I wouldn't say wasted, but what I spent on getting water delivered, buying it, whatever, as opposed to being able to filter it myself like this. Okay, then if you lift this, you can see up underneath here, see these extra knobs and whatnot? Berkey also offers another set of white filters that filters arsenic and, geez, I can't remember what the other thing was. But you attach them here and then they sit in this bottom chamber, which will take up more room. But if you are worried about arsenic and other contaminants like that, that those filters work on, then I would definitely look into it. I don't have a problem with that here in my area, nor do I think it's really a problem anywhere in Wisconsin, but I do realize in some parts of the country it is. So I really encourage you to go to the Berkey website and look up all their filter options. And this is just a quick look at the inside here, where the water filters down into. Very clear, very simple, pretty much what you expected to see. Okay, and I've only been using this for about 5 weeks, maybe close to 6. We used it for a short time before we moved, and then got it going here. We've only lived here for 4 weeks? I don't even remember now. But anyhow, the one thing I will say is that it does filter fairly quick. Of course, maybe quick is a matter of opinion. And I would say it's close to 2 gallons an hour. I just know that when we fill it, we tend to fill it at night. But there are some times when I run out ahead of time, we have to fill it during the day. So I normally only have to put 2 gallons in at a time, and I get pretty good water pressure, and it comes pretty quick. Okay, so that is my review of the Berkey Royal water filter system. If you have any questions, please leave them down in comments. I will try to answer them for you. But be advised, I am not an expert on this kind of stuff. I just wanted to show people what I bought and what I liked about it, and something, you know, to think about when you're trying to figure out if you need a water filter system, and if you do, what you would maybe like. So visit us on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest. All the links are down in the description box. Visit homesteadingways.com. That would be great. Give us a thumbs up if you liked the video. Subscribe. That would be awesome. I really appreciate you taking the time to watch this. It was nice talking to you, and you take care.